today we are here to read from an important book that I found in the web after many research. I have to say that this book I searched for a long time, and now finally I found it on web, because I prefer the books on web and not the cartouch on the paper book, the paper one. And this is a reading, a tripartite reading, coming from this book, Vodou Quantum Leap, that there is not in Italy, because there is not any translation of this book in Italy, as same question about many important books that in Italy has never arrived, and is tripartite, and there is this video lecture, video reading in English, and then in Italian. I personally want to translate this book, this chapter, in this case, from English to Italian. And this is the Vodou and Quantum Leap book from Reginald Crosley, Alternate Realities, Power and Mysticism, Chapter 1, titled Reality, a Many-Splendored Thing. Well, okay. The new physics has spawned an equally modern metaphysics. Now, my own suspicion is that the universe is not only queerer than we suppose, but it is queerer than we can suppose. And those are some quotes from different authors. And then starts the book. 20th century science have opened a Pandora's box, bringing confusions in an otherwise very complex matter, that of reality. Using our common sense, reality does not seem to be a puzzle, even though we may sometimes have difficulty assessing the reality of some particular things. In general, we feel that we are living in a real world, that we are surrounded by solid, valid objects and persons. However, the notion of reality reveals itself a complicated matter. Scientists, philosophers, theologians, and religious spokespersons describe reality in different ways. These thinkers have described surrealism, parallel universes, alternate realities, shadow matter, and reality operating in at last 10 dimensions. I have been interested in the problems of different forms of reality since my early years as a poet, when I discovered the surrealist movement in the early 1970s, and a member of Haiti literaire. I was 22 years old, and this is Reginald Crosley that speaks about himself. Furthermore, according to the tenets of surrealism, I was reared in a culture saturated with surrealism and Haitian alternate reality. The members of Haiti literaire were not bound by the dictate of the guru André Breton, the founder of the surrealist movement in France. And then many quotes I don't love, you know, and I pass at another point to another point. As poets, we did not have limitations. There were no faculties or boards, no synods or inquisitions to establish boundaries or constraints upon our exploration of and their outcomes. Modern physics, biology, theology, and philosophy were given equal access to my inquisitive mind, and the result was Immanence, a book of poetry. My total vision of the universe, of reality, is woven into the verse, particularly that of the Les Hymnes Cosmogoniques. My friends of Haiti literature considered these verses as one of the most beautiful poetic production in Francophone literature. As a physician who studied medicine at the State University of Haiti and trained in internal medicine at the university hospital at Port-au-Prince before immigrating to the United States in 1967, I faced every day in clinical encounters the clash between scientific reality and the Voodoo alternative reality. Although many of my relatives had reacted to Voodooism and were practicing Protestants, their mentality has remained Voodooistic, embedded in that alternate parallel reality of the African Haitian culture. It has been repeated many times in intellectual circles that Haiti is 90% Catholic and 10% Protestant, but Haitians are 10% Voodooists. This is to say that the population as a whole shares the Voodoo mentality without necessarily being practicing Voodooists as servant of law of the spirit law. The current thinking at university, particularly at the Faculté de Médecine, was that Voodoo was the expression of anxiety, neurosis, hysteria, split personality, multiple personality, hypnosis, or frank psychosis, and this is as you can listen, or as you can say, or as I say now. This is all a reportage, description, an autobiographic description of experience that includes a question that the focus of the chapter is that in which I am interested more not is his life, but in my opinion and in my vision, this is almost about his experience, and we can pass to another point of the test in the second video about this book, in the second part of this video.